Hi everybody, I'm Michael. This is a review for Twisted Tales number 14. Can you believe they've made 14 books in this series?
I can't believe it.
I'm here with my wife. Hi Katie, say hi to the people.
Hello, people.
Yes, because you did several of the other books in this series with me. So this one's, what's it called? When You Wish Upon a Star, based on Pinocchio. So, just take a guess what you think the premise is, because it's basically a series where they take like the classic Disney movies and they add some sort of cruel twists, like, you know,
Somebody makes a wish. It's going to be a genie moment. Somebody makes a wish that they immediately regret.
yeah, speaking of genie, I think that was the Aladdin was where what happened if Jafar just got the genie first? Yeah, or Ariel it was basically like what if Ursula won? Yeah. So take a guess at how they make Pinocchio twisted and evil.
He never got a wish to even become alive?
Now that's interesting. Well,
It's like he was always a puppet.
I guess it was technically Gepetto's wish.
It was.
Okay, yeah. That would be a short novel if Gepetto kills himself in the first chapter.
Well, somebody's got to find the body, so the whole thing is about finding Gepetto's body and the shenanigans that ensue.
No.
So what actually happened?
This is weird. The premise, what if the Blue Fairy wasn't supposed to help Pinocchio? Which,
What if she was supposed to genie him?
no, I got the puppy. Should I put the puppy in the video? Here, get the puppy.
She's having a zoomy moment at exactly the wrong time.
Yeah, so this is the puppy.
So now she gets to be in the video because she was making poor choices. Hello, Luna.
Yes. So this,
Luna, here's your bird. Luna,
your birdie.
get it. Here, there you go. All right.
Okay, sorry for the
Continuing
interruption.
on.
No, this book is basically like a prequel to Pinocchio. So, like the first 350 pages take place 40 years ago when the Blue Fairy, she was just a girl named Chiara living in the village, and she had a younger sister named Ilaria.
Did she have a song like The Fresh Prince, or was it like Sophia the First?
No.
I'm just a girl in the village doing all right.
The song was the Nightingale's aria, which gets mentioned several times. I don't know if that's in the movie. I haven't seen the movie recently enough to know. But she like tries to set up her sister with Gepetto and stuff like that, because he's just this really shy guy who wants to make toys for kids but doesn't want to like upset his luthier father, who's kind of a mean guy. Do you know what a luthier is?
No idea.
Is
it a Lutheran that's just super straight laced? I mean,
no. It's he makes instruments like violins and stuff like that.
Oh, interesting. I would have never thought. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it means.
So anyway, Blue Fairy tries to hook him up with his sister.
So Chiara, she's just a nice person, and it sort of starts when they save Gepetto from Monstro. And basically what happens is the fairies come to her and say, hey, congratulations, Chiara, we've decided we want to make you a fairy. And so she like auditions for the fairies for like 5 months. And that was actually kind of interesting going to the backstory. The fairies are fighting these evil villains called the Heartless, which are basically evil fairies. And you can see where it's going, where her sister becomes one of the evil fairies. They kind of set it up quite a bit that...
So it's a Wicked storyline.
Sort of like that, yeah. Her sister joins the evil fairies because she's jealous of her good sister who got to join the good fairies. And at the same time, you know, her dreams of becoming this famous singer were like completely crushed. And I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting, good, but at the same time, the most common complaint I saw was 350 pages. That's 350 pages of the book.
It sounded like it was
this extended flashback of the Blue Fairy's backstory.
So really, the whole book was about the Blue Fairy. It just happened to have a Gepetto moment at the beginning, is what it sounds like.
I mean, he was sort of like the third most important character in the little story. They also have a brother and parents who show up a bit. But, yeah.
Interesting.
The final 100 pages are actually Pinocchio, the movie, and sort of goes in with the Blue Fairy's trying to help Pinocchio, and then the evil sister is trying to destroy Pinocchio with the help of the other evil fairies.
But doesn't that kind of mess up the storyline? Because like part of the story of Pinocchio is that Pinocchio he makes poor decisions on his own, like of his own fruition. Like he's given too much freedom and he basically can't handle it. But now it's saying that it wasn't his fault. Like he has this evil sister fairy that's like influencing him. Like that seems
it wasn't
awful.
that she was influencing him, but it's more like she went to the pub and got the, Honest John and Gideon, the bad guys that lure him away to the puppet show. And she was also like influencing Stromboli, who was already kind of a mean guy.
Well, but so she's basically pushing him towards evil
Basically, throwing traps in his way. Without directly interfering.
What does she have to gain from doing that?
That's it. They make a bet. This is in the prologue. They make a bet that because the blue fairy. Remember this premise. What if the blue fairy wasn't supposed to help Pinocchio? She's breaking a fairy law by doing that and bringing something to life. So, the bet is that the evil sister will stop being evil and just give up if Pinocchio can prove himself a good boy in 3 days. Basically, that's what she offers.
3 days? The movie takes place over more than the course of 3 days.
The way they described it, it felt like it was exactly 3 days. It didn't feel like she was veering from the actual plot of the movie. It felt like it was going pretty straight.
I could have sworn they were on Pleasure Island more than like
No,
2
that's
days.
just one night.
Is it really
it's
only
a single night?
It
Yeah,
felt longer
that's like a
than,
single day where they get taken to Pleasure Island and it's one night. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It kind of works as, I'm thinking Lion King 1.5 is probably the best example, but I think the correct term is interquel. Whereas basically, it is Pinocchio, but it shows more of here's what Gepetto did when he was off screen, and here's what the fairies were doing off screen. Evil Fairy got to talk with all of the villains, like the Coachman and stuff like that. And Monstro the Whale is also being part of the evil fairy's plan to take over the world or whatever.
Honestly, this sounds like a terrible book.
I actually thought it was really good. I'm
because the way you're describing
I'm doing a terrible job of describing the last 100 pages, but basically did you not like Lion King 1.5 maybe?
Well, no, I mean, I don't really like the whole idea of of a character being, I don't know. It just kind of messes up the moral center of Pinocchio with this whole crap going in. That's my issue with it. Is it's, how would you say, I don't know, just messing it up, I suppose.
Well, yeah, he's really just the plaything of these two powerful fairies that are messing with him. The good fairies trying to steer him on the right path, and the bad fairies trying to steer him away from the good path. You're right in that, but it does make sense that if we're going to have a story which is Pinocchio from the Blue Fairy's point of view, to give her an antagonist and give her and Gepetto more stuff to do. Clearly the author was trying not to change any of the scenes that happen in Pinocchio, so they all happen in exactly the same way they were in the movie. Just like in Lion King 1.5, where all the scenes with Simba stay the same. They only add extra scenes with Timon and Pumbaa.
Alright, so what's your rating on this sucker?
Believe it or not, this was one of the more popular, this is tied with the Princess Tiana one for the most popular book of the series. Maybe it's because it just came out this year. So, I thought it was great. I'd say an 8 out of 10 or so. It was very interesting.
What could it have done to make it to 10 out of 10? What?
Not be 350 pages of backstory. I mean, maybe just 250 pages.
What if they'd changed the expectation and the whole thing had been backstory, and that was the expectation
that's part of the
walking
problem.
Into it?
Is they set the expectation by putting this in the Twisted Tales series universe, as opposed to saying this is a standalone book, which is just the Blue Fairy story. And they've done stuff like that, because I know there's a book about Mother Gothel. It's here's her backstory, and that's just the entire book. And I think they also have one for Ursula and stuff like that. So if they had put it in that context, then it probably would have been better. Just for the sake of balance, say 2/3 is backstory, 1/3 is actual Pinocchio. That would kind of balance better than 350 backstory, 100 Pinocchio in terms of the page. But I guess they really did want the book to be as long as possible. You can't complain it's a really long book, and it's specifically targeted for people that want to read long books.
All right, well, I think that wraps up the video.
All right, you wanted to show the puppy one more time.
She's so cute. She had a great frame there.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
So good.
Are you going to give kisses, Luna?
No, she's not going to kiss me. She just wants to be put down. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.